today, I don't know if it'll be today when this goes up, it'll probably be a few days ago, but Jeffery Lord on CNN decided to compare Trump to Martin Luther King. Not only completely fucking stupid, incorrect, and everything else, but he refused to apologize. He refused to apologize to the people he offended. So let's watch what exactly was said, and I will give my thoughts on it.
I want to say something here that I know will probably drive Simone crazy, but think of President Trump as the Martin Luther King of healthcare.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Get him, girl.
Jeffrey.
When I was a kid, President Kennedy did not want to introduce the Civil Rights Bill because he said it wasn't popular, he didn't have the votes for it, etc. Dr. King kept putting people in the streets in harm's way to put...
It's cringy to watch this. I gotta say, this is like the most cringy thing I've ever watched on CNN, and it gets worse.
The pressure on so that the bill would be introduced. That's what
Jeffrey,
finally
you do understand that Dr. King was marching for civil rights because people that look like me were being beaten. Dogs were being sicked on them. Basic human rights were being withheld from these people merely because of the color of their skin. So let's not equate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a humanitarian, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, to the vagina-grabbing President Donald Trump.
You tell him, girl. You tell him, girl. And that was daytime television. I'm so proud. I would have thrown a fuck in there and get your fucking white ass off this TV channel, network, some shit like that. But yes, good for you, girl. Anyways, let's fast forward. If you want to see this whole video, I will link it. But let's fast forward to when they're trying to explain to him that they're offended.
Do you think Dr. King Jeffrey would agree with taking healthcare away from 20 or so odd million people?
I think if Dr. King talked to some of the people I have who've lost family members to Obamacare, that he might agree with them.
You know what? Let me tell you something really quick. My father passed away a month ago Saturday. He had a stroke, and he received excellent care up until his last breath because we had coverage. Try to minimize it. Try to politicize it. It's horrible and it is wrong.
Not minimizing anything.
Healthcare is damn...
Not minimizing anything. Not a thing. Nothing at all. Nothing.
Is it necessary to make that comparison? Because you can compare
nope.
a lot of people, just like Sean Spicer did when he compared, when he made the Hitler comparison. But was it?
That's a whole other thing. Oh my God.
Necessary, Jeffrey? Do you understand? Was it necessary? You think it was necessary? You couldn't have made your point by doing something else.
Typical white man can't admit that he fucked up, he was wrong. Hey, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all fuck up.
It's a tactic. It's a tactic. It's a colorblind tactic. Strategy.
So we don't.
There is no such thing as color blindness. Like, let's pause a minute. I don't see color. I'm colorblind, whatever bullshit. First of all, there's really real colorblind people in the world. My brother is one of them. Like, you're comparing your ignorance to like a disability. So that's one issue I have with that. And second of all, like, I don't see color. Yes, you fucking do. I don't walk down the street and not notice if the person over there is black or white. I fucking notice. That's like the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Like, it drives me insane. I don't see color. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You better go get your eyes checked.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said of all forms of inequality, injustice, and health is the most shocking and inhumane. So I think that but you can't just talk about Dr. King and whitewash him and eliminate the context. And that is what we're talking to you about, Jeffrey. You can't say it's the same tactic, but one was talking about taking away health care and one was talking about making sure that black citizens had equality under the law.
And they try to explain it to him in a different way, and he doesn't give a fuck. He does not give a fuck that he offended them. This is my issue. When you offend people, just apologize. Don't tell them you didn't. You can't tell somebody you didn't hurt them or offend them. Like, you can't do that. And that's what a lot of white people try to do. Like, and I'm a white person, and that's what a lot of times white people do. They try to tell a group of people, no, that wasn't offensive. No, we can keep doing that. That's not offensive to you. You can't be offended by that. You can't tell a group of people they can't be offended by something. If people are saying they're offended by something, just apologize and let's move on and let's learn and let's better ourselves. But this gets worse. Just watch.
Jeffrey, let me ask you something. You have 3 people you work with, right? You work with Bakar, you work with me, you work with Simone. 3 people of color.
And Selena said,
No.
Let me get the point out. Let me get the point out. We are telling you that comparison was insulting, and you're ignoring it. Don't you think you should take that into consideration, whether or not you're trying to make a point or not, even if it's to the point that if I offended you, I'm sorry.
Cringe warning, this is about to get very cringy.
Don, when I lived as a teenager in the South and my dad lost his job standing up for a black waitress.
You're not answering my question now. You're not answering.
Did he say that? Did he really say that? He did. That's what he said. I don't have to apologize to you because my dad, fucking 50 years ago, stood up for a black person.
Don't take me back to some before the war crap. I want to hear what you're saying to the coworkers you work with now, Jeffrey. Answer the question now. I don't want to hear about stuff from 50 damn years ago. I want to hear now to the coworkers, to the people of color you work with on this network every single day who are offended by your remark. You're not listening to us.
This man is saying, you work with me, you know me, we see each other every day. Please tell me that you respect me as a human right now, and this man will not do it.
Well, honor, Don. Come on. This isn't right.
Oh, this ain't right. You got one thing in this whole fucking thing right. That this ain't right.
This is not moral. We don't judge people by color in this country. That is racist.
Oh my fucking God.
You're crazy if you think we don't judge people by color.
Let me tell you something. Every single day,
Jeffrey genuinely does not believe that anything he said this morning was incorrect, disingenuous, wrong, or harmful.
Yeah,
that is a problem, and if you can't have that empathy for someone who just literally told you that their father died, or I told you my father was shot, or Don is. We have two black personalities on late night TV, and one of them is telling you he's offended by it, sitting here before you. If you can't understand that empathy, then
this is the problem. That's like that person that walks around like, hey, I got some black friends, so I'm allowed to use the N-word anywhere I please, and you're not allowed to be offended by it because I have a black friend. I can't be racist. I have a black friend, and I don't have to apologize. That's the thinking here. I just needed to make a video on this because it angered me, and I thought it was like such a good example of what the problem is here. He's such a good example of the typical white Republican male that just doesn't get it. Like, it's cringy to watch, but it happens every day. Making comments like that, not understanding why they're offensive, not even taking the time to listen to why they're offensive. They tried to explain, and again, I'll link the video below if you want to watch the whole thing. They try to explain why it's offensive. He cuts them off. He doesn't let them talk. And then, above all else, even when he doesn't get it, and they say, look, I know you don't get it, but we are telling you you offended us, he doesn't give a shit because he doesn't think he did. Listen, and we need to apologize when we hurt somebody. We need to treat people like they're human beings, basically. So that's just all I'm going to say about that. Anyways, until next time.